Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Star, by the way, if you're new to the channel. Hey, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and helping us feed a hungry hippo. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up as you're listening today. And join our Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. So today we're going to take a look at the top 10 pairs of jeans Keith and I sold in 2022. And this is across all of the platforms that we do sell on. I just went into my List Perfectly catalog and sorted all of our listings by sold and highest price. I'll show you. This is part of the reason why I love List Perfectly so much, because it's so easy to keep track of your inventory. It's not just a cross-posting service. It is an inventory management system. And if you haven't tried List Perfectly, you can get 30% off your first month with code FlippinHippos. But it keeps track of all of your listings. It is an inventory management system, and you could use it for counting as well. We don't, because we have a whole spreadsheet system that Keith has been using for the 6 years that we've been reselling. So he keeps track of our accounting and the spreadsheet system that he created. But if you were so inclined, you can put your cost of goods in here and what the item actually sold for and keep track. I just have the original price that I wanted here in the SKU line. And then if you're not familiar with how Keith and I list on eBay, we have the price we want and we put it on eBay for 25% higher than the price we actually want. And then we will run sales for 20% off most of the time, which puts it right where we want. So for instance, you can see here on the first listing, I wanted $60 for those jeans. So if I list them for $77.49, which is 25% higher, and I ran a 20% off sale, they would be right around the price I wanted. $74.99 on the ones below them are more accurate. So, but we do run 25% on the weekends typically, and sometimes we'll run 30 and 35% off sales on holidays or just when sales are slow to like kickstart things. So I do comp and price on the higher end, and then we add that additional 25%. So we have a lot of cushion. Sometimes on Poshmark, I'll even do 40% off. I give myself that cushion for a reason, but 24/7 all the time around the clock, at the very least, our listings are 20% off on eBay, which always brings it back down to the price I wanted. So I went into List Perfectly here and I asked for jeans in the title and sold, and then I sorted priced highest to lowest, and then I just made sure it was actually sold in 2022 and pulled them up to look at. I just noticed I did pull up one from 2021 here. That would be the 7 for All Mankind. Let's find them real quick. There they are. So now we will pull up a 10th one. We have Silver Garner. All right, so we'll pull up these to look at. All right, so the top selling pair was actually the last thing we sold in 2022 on New Year's Eve. They were Adriana Goldschmied Nua tags, and this is the actual listing on Poshmark. So you can see that it sold for $48. Unfortunately, on eBay, they only go back 30 days, so I can't pull up the actual listings of older items. We'll just be able to look at them here from the List Perfectly catalog and see the original price I wanted. And if I can remember if I took an offer, I'll tell you. So these actually sold for $48 on Poshmark. You can see I had wanted to list them for $60 originally on eBay. They do pay shipping here, so that would be the equivalent of about $56 on eBay. So that is not too shabby. I love Adriana Goldschmied. I love them used. I love them new. I'll grab them anywhere I can get them. And I do believe that these were only a couple bucks on half off day. The next most expensive pair from 2022 was these Dojo jeans. Y'all, Dojo jeans are a bolo. These sold within an hour of being listed. An hour. I listed them and they sold at an hour at full asking price of $60. When I comped these, there were people on eBay selling them for $40 and $50, but they were selling pretty consistently at $60 as well. And again, I price on the high end. I value my time, and I value myself as a reseller, and I value the brands and the prices that they're actually worth. I do not participate in racing to the bottom. And in fact, right now, all around us and all over the world, the prices of everything else is going up. So we should not be lowering our prices in response to that. If the grocery store can raise the prices on all of their food, we can at least hold tight to our prices, even if we don't raise them. Does that make sense? I hope so. That is my spiel about racing to the bottom. Because these sold for $60. Would they have sold for $40? Yes, but they sold for $60 within an hour. So that's what they're worth. Dojo jeans are definitely a bolo. They say dojo on the waistband. That's how you'll know them. And they have 7s on the pockets. I did find a second pair of dojos, and they got put into the laundry and folded and put into our inventory with our bread and butter items. So they will be a nice surprise when I do find them at some point. All right, so now we have this pair of driftwood. These sold on eBay. I got these in a ThredUp box, and I had never heard of this brand before, which is one of the reasons I love getting ThredUp boxes, because I get a lot of new to me brands that I discover are solid bread and butter or luxury or bolo brands. Driftwood is a bolo. If y'all ever see driftwood, grab it. These were unique. They had these nice hems with the designs on it, almost tribal. The title I used was embroidered. So these I wanted originally $50 for, and I believe they sold for $45. And these didn't take long to sell either. These went pretty quickly. Fubu jeans. I got these in a lot of clothing I bought from someone. These are vintage. These are really great men's jeans. If you find them, grab them. These took about 2 weeks, I think, to sell, and I think I took a best offer of $45 for them. Rock Revival, we all know, is a bolo brand. Of course, the men's are going to sell for more than the women's, but always grab Rock Revival. They are recognizable because they have bright orange threading in the waistband for their brand. See? And the size and the style and all that. They have Rock Revival on an inner pocket. And the tags are bright orange. These are the Jessica skinny jeans by Rock Revival. They did sell for full price of $50, I believe. If not, they would have been a best offer of $45. I don't typically go below $45 on Rock Revival women's. These are the Camila Easy Boot. And I'm sitting here flipping through these to show you the pictures, trying to think, where in the heck did I get 2 pairs of women's Rock Revival? I mean, that is not something you find every single day at the thrift store. And I actually think that these both came from a ThredUp box. And so these were listed for $50. I'm pretty sure they went for $50, maybe $45. Tansy jeans. So here's another pair. I think I did get a box once, very early in the year, last year. That was just like so amazing. It was just full of really great brands. And again, these were started at $50, so they would have sold for $45 or $50. I will go down to $40 on Poshmark because they're paying the shipping. These are Free People Riptide jeans. I do believe these were actually sold very recently in a What Sold video. They were new with tags. But I grab Free People even when it's used. We the Free is what the tag looks like. So their tags don't always say Free People. Sometimes they say We the Free. Just keep that in mind. It is Free People if it says Free, We the Free, but I've had jeans by them that say Free People on the tag. These were listed for $47. I want to say they sold for $40, but I could be incorrect. Again, they were in a recent video. And then we have men's silver jeans. These are the Garners. Y'all, I love silver jeans. They're my favorite brand. That's not bread. I have my favorite bread and butters. You guys know that, but I love silver as far as not being a bread and butter. Of course, these were men, so I listed them for $45. I used to list silver jeans, women's at $50 and men's at $55. But for those folks that like to participate in that race to the bottom and trash entire markets and be turds, the price of silver is not what it used to be. And I have one more thing to say about racing to the bottom, but let me show you this last pair of jeans before I get up on my soapbox. These are Paige Lennox Slim jeans. These are men's. So these did start at $45. Of course, men's are always going to be worth a little bit more than women's. You can list them for a higher amount. And some brands are highly not balanced. Like most women's Paige are going to go for like 30, maybe 35. These went up for 45. American Eagle, the difference between men's and women's is about $5. But you get into Paige, it's like a $10 difference. And then there's certain BKE men's jeans I can still list for 40 and 45. You can't get that for women's. So men's and women's clothing are not, exactly equal. Men's are always going to comp a little bit higher and sell for a little bit more. So the one last thing I want to say about the race to the bottom and not pricing items at what they're worth, I wanted to reiterate yet again that the cost of living and the cost of everything is going up around us. The response to that should not be to lower your prices. If anything, you should be raising them, but you can hold tight to what things are worth or what you have them listed at now. A lot of advice that I get from Teresa and Clara from List Perfectly, or you guys may know Teresa's T-Money, and Doug. I mean, I get a lot of advice from a lot of other resellers who are very successful to go in and raise your prices by $1 or $2 or 10%. And sometimes things will sell because there is a perceived value of an item, which is a whole other topic for another video. But don't devalue your items. If you're pricing silver jeans at $20, people may pass over your listing because they're going to know that silver jeans are worth more like $40 and wonder what's wrong with yours. So there's that. There's a perceived value. There's the fact that, the answer to the rising prices everywhere else isn't to lower ours because we still have to pay our bills, right? And then there's just the whole value of a brand. We've been selling since 2017. And in that time, I have seen numerous and many brands go from being valuable to just being poop. Just poop. So, be cautious when you're listing. You want your stuff to sell first, and so you start undercutting everybody, but then it just results in this race to the bottom. If I have silver jeans up for 40 and you want yours to sell before mine, you're going to put yours up for 39. The next guy's 38, 37, 36. That's not a good mentality. And then the other mentality that I have an issue with is, but I only paid $1. Okay, but it doesn't matter. This mentality of, but I only paid X amount for the item doesn't devalue the brand. Silver's worth what it's worth. Miss Me is worth what it's worth. Robert Graham is worth what it's worth, regardless of what our cost of goods was or what we paid for it or what we found it for or what great deal we got or somebody gave us a free truckload of clothing. It's still worth what it's worth on the platforms, on the selling platforms. When you comp these items, you see that their market value is. You see what their market value is. Your cost of goods should not be lowering the value of a brand. Go be productive, guys. Go make some money. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.